walls for
Cannot tell if this is live or not. Let's see. Ah, there we go. All right. It is Friday, September 6th, 2024 at 4:59 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And we're here in Fallout 76. If you haven't seen it yet, I launched my Everything I Know About House of Varun pre-Shattered Space video this morning. Starfield lore there. Based on the current poll results on the Discord, the next video is going to be covering the Moth Cults here in Fallout 76. Specifically the dim ones, or the followers of the Winged One, as they would call themselves. And the worshippers of the... what's it called? There's the Holy Mothman and there's the Wise Mothman. Hey Jim Jam the Daft One, good to see ya. Hope you've had a good week. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Basically just work on getting gold here in Fallout 76 so I can purchase that side character that I need to. So why don't we see what current... oh, there we can go. We can try this one out. And again, this is in my Fallout world, so it's not in any way a fair fight or anything like that, but... anyway... But at the same time, if I were to try to do this solo in my private adventure, we saw how that went last time. Wait, gotta speak to Initiate Pappas. There he is.
Hey, it's good to see you again. The gladiators are heading back into the...
Start the event.
My teammates are making... I'll be in con...
Okay.
Welcome to the hottest fought battle in the wasteland.
So,
Buzzsaw, your master of
I'll wait for this to finish, I guess.
You're about to see the best Rust Eagle war machines take on a team of wasteland warriors in 3
Oh.
rounds of brutal combat.
Man, the rad's there.
Turn your attention to the arena floor and let's introduce our combatants. Now entering the arena is the team you love to hate, the Gladiators of Steel. Take your positions, Gladiators. Round 1 starts now and ends with your death.
Oop, sounds like you got a suicider around here somewhere. So yeah, in terms of upcoming lore videos, I'm gonna need to decide if I'm gonna basically just do this based off polls, or if I need to do like a proper rotation. And so the way I would do a rotation is, rather than have a poll that says you don't need to do a video on Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 76, or Starfield, I would do 3 New Vegas, 4 76 Starfield in a cycle, and then I would give you a poll of 4 possible videos within each of those universes for who that you would go with. Obviously the Fallout ones are all the same universe. Starfield obviously is on one as well. Where is the fallen... oh, right here? So yeah, that's probably what I'll end up... whoa, I'm almost dead. Do I have... let's see. Or am I? I don't... says I'm already at full health. I don't know. There we go. I don't know. So yeah, so that's probably what I'll end up happening is... instead of... so, because the poll is what it is, what I'll probably end up doing is just doing the Fallout 76 Moth Cult video. Then I might do another Starfield video, because before this one, the last one I did was back in March. So I'd like to do a little bit more of that. And because I'd already done a bunch of prep on a New Atlantis video before I realized that I should get that House of Varun one out as quickly as possible, given that Shattered Space was coming up, or is still coming up at this point.
It's time to turn up the heat. You're gonna love what we've got for you in round 2.
Do we have another dead member of the Gladiators of Steel somewhere, or... Oop. I have a cat in my lap and a cat that just jumped on my chair. a dog at my feet. But yeah, after that I would start doing a cycle. And now I would really like to do the Fallout 3 Metro. Because I've been talking about doing that for like a year now. I just need to get it done. How? Yeah, this would definitely not be possible just in a private adventure. But anyway. So yeah. Look forward to that. That'll be the new type of pull that I do going forward.
Not like this.
Oh. They're down. And I have to do 20 emotes. I don't think it actually matters which one we're doing. Waving my arms while I look for help is definitely the way that I hype up the crowd. I don't know how slow you actually have to do it for them to actually acknowledge each one. But given that I only have 15 seconds left to hype up the crowd, 13 seconds to get the last 6. It's not going to happen, is it? Nope, didn't get that bonus. Wait, I keep going up there and I keep forgetting it's radioactive. I think they do that to keep you from hanging out on top of that rock. This is honestly a screwed up premise where they keep sending in these low-level Brotherhood guys to fight robots that, you know, technically are supposed to be getting better with every round. Like, yeah, they die, but they basically take the data to make the boss better. Both of these guys are down now, huh?
I can't wait to see what the scribe says when we tell her about this one. Time to get back to base.
Uh-oh. Forgot you gotta revive him before that. Okay, so yeah, we lost this one right here. What did I end up getting? Did it actually show? There we go. Alright, what's my reward?
If Buzzsaw thinks you can order me to crank out another dozen
Antique Globe of Mars. Okay. Let's take a look at those notes. Wait, don't they show up at the top now if you haven't used them? I say now. Or no, maybe if they're known they show up at the top. I probably should drop some of these notes, huh?
There isn't any problem that can't be solved with 35% more lasers.
There we go. Mutated package, huh? Oh, I should just look for it in the new section. What is this? Plan for a Deathclaw gauntlet. Some armor and some junk. Okay. Alright. I want to go see what this Antique Globe of Mars looks like. Somebody attacking my camp. Earlier it was dogs literally biting at the sheet metal on the back of the building. I did all the dailies already, actually, earlier this afternoon. Let's go ahead and... Alright, wait. There we go. New. That's a globe of... that can't... Okay, it's just globes, isn't it? That's a... Okay.
Oh.
Let's, It doesn't spin? It's in the same family of globes as the other one, but this one doesn't spin, huh? No idea I had the other one. Alright, I've built the other one before. Let's take a look at that. Because, yeah, this one, you'd spin it, and it also puts off little detonations. It's neat. But again, it's the same exact family of models, and they didn't have this one spin. That's kind of... I'm not expecting nuclear detonations, but it would be neat if it would spin at the very least. Anyway. Alright, what else have we got going on? Bots on parade. I'm looking for anything that'll give me treasury notes. Ooh, Monster Mash. It's been a while since I've done that one, but I think it's been even longer since I did Bots on Parade.
Members, we found an area we'd like to have a closer look at. We're transmitting coordinates to the local bot stop. Proceed there and protect our patrollers, would you? That is all.
Alright. Working for the Enclave. Hey! Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. I'm gonna try to pronounce your name, Saito Tetsuo. I hope I didn't mispronounce that too badly. Welcome to the stream. Hope things are going well in South Africa. Hope you're having a good week.
Initiating override. Disturb patrol units during reprogramming. Members.
And I'm not sure if I'm even going to get treasury notes out of this one, but I got some out of the last one. And it's something to do, I guess, while I wait for another mutated event to pop up.
That polycarbonate finish won't care for itself. Make sure you
Kill all hostile forces.
before it gets scratched.
I'm glad I wasn't horribly wrong with it. Ooh. Ah. Don't know how I missed you, but I'm glad you didn't start smashing. So, my hope is, given that it's only the 6th, that I should be able to get 2 more lore videos out this month. I was really hoping to get that last one out last month, but I was literally working on it up until 12:30 p.m. Sorry, not 12:30 p.m. a.m. this morning, before it launched at 8 a.m. my time. So, this is the Fixer. Specifically, I think it's a vampiric Fixer. It was actually given to me by a viewer. And I've really made constant use of it ever since then. Oh. So this is a Fallout world too. So don't take the weapons capabilities here as being 100% accurate. But this is what the stats of it look like right here. So. The entire reason I'm doing these events and dailies and everything like that is to get gold together so I can get a light companion that's a member, was a former member of a moth cult, that you can buy for gold. So that's what's going on here. But yeah, so I'm hoping to get 2 more videos out this month. Currently, at this point, it's looking like that's probably going to be the video on the Mothman cults. I prefer to say moth cults. It's not accurate, but it rolls off the tongue a lot better than Mothman cults. But I also think that it reminds me a bit of the moth monks, or whatever they are exactly, in Elder Scrolls. The gentlemen that go blind reading the Elder Scrolls. Oop. Oh, reprogram is complete. Okay.
Additional hostiles en route.
But you just don't let them hurt the merchandise, because we don't allow returns.
Oh, okay. Good to see you. Have a good weekend. Where are we going here? But the second video after the Mothman Cult video will be a video covering New Atlantis, which I'm sure will take even more time than the video I just did on House of Arun. That one I thought it would be a quick video I could get finished in maybe a couple of days. It turned into 2 weeks. And that was with me recording... basically, so I just checked my stats on Steam the other day. Well, not the other day, this afternoon. Over the past 2 weeks, I have spent 57 hours in Starfield. And I recorded footage most of that time, about 370 gigabytes of footage. Now, not all of that was used in the House of Arun video. In fact, that came out to be 5 gigabytes when it was done. And nowhere near a majority of that was actually used. But it's the sort of thing where when I'm recording, trying to get these little bits of dialogue, I've got to be recording for half hour at a time to have this one line pop up. So...
This is Initiate Dodge.
Here...
We lost
signal is
contact with the
there.
uplinks in your area. We'll need them operational. We hope to keep tabs on the enemy. Repair the signal repeater to get started.
Oh, invisible.
Connection to the uplinks. Move out.
Okay. Not a terribly big fan of invisible enemies, but worse is there are the cold ones that actually slow you down when they hit you. So, I'll take invisible over that.
Signal repeater seems operational. Time to head to the first uplink. Watch yourself.
So yeah, the New Atlantis video is going to be very, very big, though. I'm still in the process of basically creating the exact route that I'm going to follow and doing all of the side quests in New Atlantis, and part of it is also a little bit difficult because
Calibration has started.
some of the side quests are not available until you've done some of the main quests. Specifically, there are jobs you do for Sergeant Yumi of the United Colonies Security Group. Basically, their police force, and I'm sure I'm not naming them correctly here. But regardless, there's some quests you do for him that are not available until you finish the Vanguard quest line. Specifically, there's one where you deal with a man who claims that he has witnessed a ne'er-do-well who has... I need to stand next to this, that's right. Who claims he's seen a ne'er-do-well doing graffiti on one of the walls in New Atlantis, which New Atlantis outside of the well is very, very strict on that kind of thing. Oh. There we go. So, they actually investigated it as an actual crime. Now, my understanding of it is that the guy who's actually... what's it called? Accusing the other gentleman of being the criminal is actually the criminal himself. He's a government official who was robbed by this other individual and never got justice for that crime, so he ended up doing this other crime and blaming that individual for it. So, but yeah, again, that one is not available until you finish the Vanguard quest line, and in fact, there's also another side quest you have to do within the well to even have it pop up in the first place. You have to actually interact with that second individual, the accused individual, and help him get home from the clinic before you can actually do the quest where he's accused of being a graffiti artist. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly... I'm going to have to map it all out, and that's what I'm currently in the process of doing. And part of it is making sure I've got all the exact locations that they go and stuff like that, because the thing is trying to turn a tour of a city and all of its side quests into a single coherent story, which I think I did fairly well in Cydonia, but Cydonia's half the content of New Atlantis, probably. So, And there's at least twice as many quests that take you off-world in New Atlantis as there are in Sidonia, so... Gosh, this is slow. Okay.
First signal calibration is complete. We need both for proper connection. Head to the second uplink.
The other day, I installed my first and likely only mod that I will ever install in Starfield, and that was to restore the ability to get achievements when you've used the console commands. Because I've had a character that... So, when my very first character, I used console commands multiple times in order to film. And so, basically, the two commands that I use almost endlessly are TM and TFC. TM being toggle menus, or toggling the UI, and TFC being toggle free cam. The thing is, both of those are grounds for you to lose the ability to get achievements within those games, which... I mean, it's not really a big thing, but at the same time, it is nice to be able to see, like, the list of achievements that include... It's like, yeah, you have completed the Vanguard questline, you've completed the Crimson Fleet questline, and stuff like that. So, after getting to level 123, 132, one of those, I decided to make a new character that would not have any use of the console commands so that I could go ahead and get the achievements. Well, I didn't even use console commands on that character, I used them on another character. And for some reason it basically corrupted that save to where no matter what I would do, I even went and specifically grabbed an old save where I had not yet used any console commands. Again, I didn't even use them on this guy, but I used them on another character around the same time as I was playing on this character, and I think the game got confused. And again, it's not like I'm even cheating with this stuff. I'm specifically trying to just use it to film. And so it was basically every time I would grab one of my old saves before I had used console commands. And there's a way that you'll see this within the saves where it'll either have a M or a C next to the save in parentheses. I would go back and grab an old one, come back in, and try to play and create a new save, and it would immediately basically corrupt that character's line to be one that is supposedly using mods. So I just got fed up with it. I went to Nexus Mods and I downloaded the mod that gets rid of that entirely. And I'm not going to miss that. And now I can film on that character without having to worry about it. I will fully admit that I, on one character, did increase my affinity with Andreja, just to move forward with that stuff so I could get the filming that I needed to do. Because, believe it or not, I have now done the affinity questline for Andreja 4 times now to get all the footage that I wanted.
Looks like that wasn't the last of the hostiles. I got a location for you to check out.
And I just did not want to do all that that work with Andreja again. I talked about it last week, but it's not just that you have to increase your affinity. You have to play for a full hour in game with that character after having increased the affinity, and I just was not. I was not feeling it. Hey, Sean, good to see ya. Hope you're having a good week. Sorry if I missed you earlier there. I was looking over and I saw, but like, your name was about the same length as the one above it, so I assumed that it was the gentleman there who had already headed out. Good to see you as well, Acorn Electric.
We got him mad now. Take down that priority target ASAP.
I have not. I've played. Okay, full honesty here. I've played Dark Souls twice now. The first time was for about 15 minutes, and I was just getting so fed up with the controls because I was trying to play it with a keyboard, and it just does not work. And I had other stuff to do anyway, so I left that alone, and I went back to doing the other stuff, and eventually it was like a month later, and I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. So I deleted the game, but then I came back to it about a month ago, played with a controller properly, and that ended up... Oh, okay, they're all vanished. I got past the first boss. not very well. I died like 3 times. The FromSoft stuff is very interesting, and I could definitely look into getting into that at some point in the future, but I mean, currently I've already got so much left to still cover in the Fallout universe, but I might expand it to other things as well. I got 8 minutes and 17 seconds, and so I did not get that one, so that's unfortunate, but... So I lost out on... Did I miss out on the Whistle in the Dark plan? I've also considered expanding into Elder Scrolls, just because it's like I already do 2 other Bethesda series anyway. But I've already thought about Elder Scrolls, and it's one of those things where it's like I would need to spend at least like 2 months beforehand reading the lore myself, like going through the game, reading all the books and stuff like that. I would definitely feel the need to play Arena and Daggerfall, which I never have played either one of those games before. I've played Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. I've never played the little side games either, that kind of stuff. Whistle in the Dark. What is that exactly? Did I get that? What even is that exactly? Yeah, well, Elder Scrolls 6 is in development at the moment. That's my understanding, at least. Though I know that at least a chunk of that team still has to be working on Starfield's DLC content. So, what is this thing anyway? Okay, is it something I build in the camp? Doesn't seem to be. Let's see. Is it like a weapon? Is it armor? Let's see. Is it a little toy that I maybe make at the tinkering table? Oh, I don't have the stats to build those ones. I was like, I have this set up to where I don't even need resources. Why would I? There it is. What the hell? 50% damage at night. 50% chance to damage a target in VATS. Plus 3 to perception. Plus 20 to armor penetration and night vision. Hey Chris, welcome to the stream. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, Whistle in the Dark. Interesting.
Never give up. Just keep doing it.
I would definitely expect this to be automatic based on the weapon, but whatever. I'll just scrap this stuff. Scrap that. Plus 50% damage to animals. I'm sure that's useful in some situations, but it's 50% damage to humans with this shovel. Go ahead and scrap that. Okay. Let's put all this stuff in here. Okay. Do we have... Nope, none of those. Let's just do Monster Mash, I guess.
Welcome, teachers and students, to Watoga High School's annual Monster Mash.
I will say,
please gather in the commons and await your
one thing I
instructions.
definitely feel is
Teachers,
lacking from
race to
Starfield
find
at the
the
moment
Monster Mask.
is books.
After you get it, run from the
After having
students. As
played
you flee, candy
Elder
will
Scrolls,
fall
and you can
from
walk
the
around and you
mask.
can find lore books to
Be
read
sure
and
to
stuff
collect
like
as much
that,
as
the fact that
possible.
it's like
The more
impossible
candy
to
you
find
collect,
books
the more
in game about
supplies
things
you
like
will
the
be
Serpent's
awarded for
Crusade.
Next year's discretionary
It's just
budget.
weird. And yeah, no, books are mostly not actually physical anymore in the Starfield universe. It's actually a thing where it's like
Students,
there's bookstores,
must
but people
chase
generally
and hit
don't
the
buy
Monster
books,
Mask
they buy
with
slates.
baseball bats like a
But it's like
pinata.
you
Can't
could go
keep
ahead
any
and
candy
still
that
just
falls out
like
of the mask,
they could
or
provide
you
us with
can make the
slates
smart
about
choice
history events. It
and
doesn't just
turn
have to
it
be
into
the
prizes.
museums and stuff like that.
And remember, this is the only time it is permitted to hit a teacher while on school grounds, and only the one wearing the mask. On your marks. Get ready. Go.
With the American viewers, that's more so a thing about damaging yourself in a way. Okay, let's see. Oh, did it actually equip it, or did I... Let's see. Good, okay. Because I did not actually make it equip, so... Finding the candy bucket. There we go. Ah. I just lost my candy. And got radworms. Oh, man. But yeah, I was specifically thinking about the fact that there are no books in Starfield the other day when I was like thinking like, wait a minute, why aren't there books about the Serpent's Crusade? Why aren't there books about like House Varun? Why aren't there books about the Colony War? It's like, yeah, you can go to the Vanguard Training Hall, Orientation Hall, or whatever it's called, and you can find these displays about the war and stuff like that. But these are all coming from a UC tilt, to where, you know, it's like you actually bring in Sam, and he's talking, or specifically the one I remember is bringing in Andreja, and she's like, I think that some people would take offense at how the UC is portraying the way the Colony War went. Because it's quite funny, because effectively what happened was the UC tries to destroy the FC in the Battle of Cheyenne. And the Freestar Collective, not wanting its entire existence destroyed, has all of their civilians get in their ships, fly up, and fight the UC fleet together, along with the military. And the way the UC refers to that is human shields. It's like, no, it's militia, effectively, is what that is. Of course, I think that, if I'm not mistaken, and I need to know more about the structure of the FC, but effectively, I think their military is called the militia anyway, but let's see. Again, it's another area where they could have more books, because the UC talks about their government to an extent, but the FC is so much more, like, vague about it. It's like they've got a board of governors that governs things, but at the same time, like, I have no idea what else is going on there. Yeah, no, there's definitely, they need to flesh out the universe more. How do I have so little candy in the mask? I get that I just got hit there, but I've been running around not getting hit, and I feel like the amount of candy in the mask keeps depleting, so I don't know what's going on with that. Well, it's like, to an extent, I don't even know if the FC actually has a representative government. Because it kind of doesn't seem like it does. Because again, the Board of Governors all seems to be made up of, like, high-level corporate types. So it's like, do they vote on things? Because it's one of those things, I have not investigated the FC thoroughly enough. But it's one of those things where it seems like they're more free, but at the same time, I don't know if the people actually have, like, any actual power in their government. But at the same time, they're also not... They don't have the same level of restrictions and taxation as the United Colonies has, so... There we go, up to 58. So, after I finish the video on the Mothman Colts. But I have left... Oh, geez Louise. At this point, I still...
Please
Is
gather
that
the
it?
comments
That was
and
it?
wait for the next round of the Monster Mash to begin.
Oh, okay, right.
If you have
Multiple
candy
rounds.
from the previous round, you can turn it in at
Dual
the
streaming,
smart
not that I
vending
know of.
machine for prizes. Make
As far as I know, I'm only
smart
going to
choice.
YouTube. I
Reminder,
really should potentially
teachers
just consider
grab the
doing
mask.
YouTube and
You will collect
Twitch,
candy
but I just...
falling out of the mask.
I don't know, I prefer YouTube, especially because everything
Find
else is
buckets of
already here
candy
as it is.
hidden around the school to refill.
Oh.
Students, hit the monster mask like a pinata and collect candy that flies out. On your marks. Get ready. Go.
Oop. Oh, that's close. Okay, have the mask on. 5 minutes of running around, finding candy bowls while getting smacked by ghouls. Oh. Definitely missed it. Oh. Okay. But yeah, so again, after the Mothman Colts, in terms of videos that I still have to do for Fallout 76, there's the video on Charleston. There's a half dozen remakes that I still want to do. I need to cover New Atlanta, not New Atlantis, New Jersey. Atlantic City in New Jersey. And probably should look at Nuka World on tour. I still haven't done anything on that. I could potentially make a Fallout video to the Blue Ridge Caravan. That's probably going to become more important with Milepost Zero. What else? I mean, again, I keep waiting for the responders to have enough for me to talk about them again. They just really just don't yet. So, I don't know. We'll see. But along with that, I mean, I've got everything else to do in Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. Whoa. I have not covered those on anywhere near the level of extent that I have 76. Level of extent. In 3, currently the plan is to do the Metro next. But I mean, I still needed to cover other settlements like Canterbury Commons. And then there's just, you know, individual vaults to cover. Probably some individual locations. All of the factions as well, obviously. Let's see. So far in 3, I think all I've covered is settlements. I think that's it. Oh, and a vault. I did cover a vault. So, there's still plenty to cover there. Fallout New Vegas, I've been following the path of the courier. Currently, the next planned video for that one is RepCon. Because it just did, well, just did. It's been a few months now. Novak. Did Searchlight before that, Nipton before that. So I'll need to cover probably Boulder City after I cover RepCon. Or potentially whatever that junction is, 188 or whatever it is. Outpost 188 Outpost, or I don't remember. I don't know how much there is to really cover there. I haven't really investigated that thoroughly. I know that there's... Veronica is there, right? I think that's her name. The companion from the Brotherhood of Steel. I can't remember names right now. Still another minute and a half of this. Alright. Let's see. And then after that, moving on up towards Vegas again. But there's even then, like even after having covered everything that the courier goes through in the main story, there's still so much more stuff to cover. Because, I mean, there's so much around Vegas that you can go to that the courier really doesn't necessarily have to go to. Alright. Fallout 4, currently the plan is mass fusion. Potentially after that it would be the gunners. I'm trying to cover gunner locations and then the gunners as a whole. And then after that, probably Covenant, I think is the name of the town. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like I keep thinking about covering the responders as though I need to cover them in the same level as I did the first time around. I can't remember how long that video it is, but it is my second longest slow video, and it's like an hour and a half or something like that. And yeah, I don't necessarily have to make an hour and a half long slow video. I can make something that's 10-15 minutes long talking about the new responders hanging out at the White Spring. But at the same time, I almost feel like there's still more to know about the responders at the White Spring. Oh no, there's another round.
From the previous round, you can turn it in at the smart vending machine for prizes. Hey, the smart choice.
It's been so long since I've done this one, I'd forgotten there's so many
Teachers
rounds.
grab the mask. You will collect candy falling out of
What was
the
I going
mask.
to say?
And you should find buckets of candy.
Yeah, so
hidden
I could
around the
be
school
that,
to
again, the
refill
responders are
the
covered in a
mask.
much shorter video, but I think that
Students, hit the monster
what
mask
the
like a
other
pinata
shoe
and
that's going to
collect
drop with the
candy that
responders,
flies
I think,
out.
is going to end up being the case
On
that
your marks.
it's not really the responders.
Get ready.
And I could be wrong.
Go.
And it could even be like a combination sort of a thing where it's like well-meaning people that are themselves unknowing puppets. But the whole situation there feels much more like they're actually just servants of the Enclave, more so than anything else. I mean, the simple fact that they're flying around in an ultrasight-powered vertibird, that just screams Enclave to me. Like, how else did they get their hands on something like that? And why would the Enclave be willing to continue to provide them with ultrasight unless they're doing something to help the Enclave? It could be something where it's like, yes, it's technically something that's good for all people across the wasteland, but it's probably explicitly in the interest of the Enclave that these things get sorted out. Like, it's not good for the Enclave's attempts at power if the fanatics are spreading out from the pit. And it's not good for anybody, so it's one of those things where it's like the interests align, and so they're willing to provide the ultrasight power cores to go after the fanatics, even if it's not necessarily something where they really care that much about helping the Union. I love the concept that this automated system remains to where it can detect that candy is being picked up, but can't detect that the children are not children, but are in fact fully grown feral ghouls, and that we're in fact blowing these ghouls away. It's such a crazy thing to consider. Yeah, and it could be the simple case that I talk about, like just the people that we've met, and the little bit that we know about them, without trying to talk about basically what their long-term goals technically are. But like, for example, the fact that everybody at the White Spring has to interact with Orlando, when Orlando is this mysterious character that somehow speaks for the White Spring. It's like, what is this exactly? Oop. I love that. It's just like a little flash that appears on the screen for a second there, but when you kill a ghoul just perfectly and like their skull and eyeballs are floating in the air above their body for a second. Oop. Yeah, my hope is that effectively what we'll get from Bethesda with Starfield is effectively we'll get like a faction expansion for basically every faction. Well, I mean, it's hard to tell if they could really do it with Crimson Fleet just because I'd be willing to bet you that a majority of people have effectively eliminated the Crimson Fleet as as a faction by the end of that quest line. And it's one of those things where I don't even know how much of a spoiler that is, really. And it's literally the 1 year anniversary, so you've probably played Starfield by this point if you're going to play it. But yeah, by the end of it's either UC SysDef or Crimson Fleet questline, the Crimson Fleet is either incredibly wealthy or they're gone, effectively. Not really, but... And so, I would hope, though, that they would provide some proper, like, faction... Each faction gets their own expansion, so we could learn more about things like the Freestar Collective and all that kind of stuff, and like their government specifically and all that kind of stuff. But they also really need to do some significant updates to things like New Atlantis and Jemison, because I feel like I've talked about this many times before already. But the simple fact of the matter is that nothing about Jemison and New Atlantis looks like it should. It's like, I understand entirely their whole idea here where they want to have the kind of scrappy Wild West Freestar Collective hanging out in Aquila City with their mud brick buildings and their cowboy dusters and all that kind of stuff. It's a cool aesthetic and all that. And I love the fact that there's such a contrast with the United Colonies looking like this actual futuristic society and all that kind of stuff. But the fact that New Atlantis is this like metropolitan downtown surrounded by jungle is utter nonsense.
Thank you to our teachers, students, and volunteers who made the event possible. And remember to make a smart choice this year and turn in your candy for healthy and wholesome gifts and surprises. Have a safe and pleasant Halloween, everybody.
And I'm not even saying that they have to turn this downtown into like a properly sized area, but the entire area should be still surrounded by farmland, industrial districts, and stuff like that. And it's just not. It does not make any sense. What can I trade this in for anyway? Deposit my candy. What can I get? It's just junk, effectively. Let's see what the mystery toy is that I get from this. Let's do... Ooh, radioactive surprise. Oh, scoped Gauss rifle. Okay. So, you turn in candy as a high school student, and they give you a scoped Gauss rifle with some ammunition. I don't know about that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, again, they really... I don't know if it's phoning it in or if they bit off more than they could chew, but they should have done more thinking when it comes to the layout of these places. It's the same sort of thing with Aquila City, where there's a couple farms next to Aquila City, but there should definitely be more, and there should be like the inner wall around the city that's like the old wall, you know, like the one that's built by Solomon Coe and his descendants, and then there should be like an outer wall surrounding a like full broad scope of automated farmland, and it should be like this is like the new wall that's been built in the past 100 years, you know. Oh, right, the train station's right there. That's where I need to go to scrap stuff and all that. So. And it's one of those things where it's like, again, with Neon. Probably Neon should be like 4 times the size that it is. But at the same time, like, I don't mind that one as much because it's literally sitting on top of a platform in the middle of the ocean. So it's one of those things where it's like, when you're walking around in that thing, it actually feels pretty large when you're doing it. But... okay. Let's see, what do we got else in this? I'm looking for anything that'll actually give me... I got nothing that will explicitly give me treasury notes. I guess dailies specifically might give me some treasury notes. We'll take a look. But yeah. Again, those are my biggest complaints currently with Starfield. That, and I will definitely say that the first time around doing all this stuff when you're becoming Starborn, like going to all the temples, it's a cool thing for the first few temples, but can't remember how many there are, 23 or 24. There's as many as there are letters in the Greek alphabet, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that. It could be like one off that. But it's one of those things where it's like, then when you do it, and new game +1, new game +2, new game... And they're like, do this 15 times to get this special Starborn reward. It's like, are you... Walking into this cave, picking up this artifact, and then going to the associated temple, hovering in midair. It's not really all that satisfying a gameplay loop once you've done it 10 times.
If you can get it back.
And then when, again, you're doing it 15 times, times the, whatever, 20-something letters in the Greek alphabet for all of the temples.
Excellent. I can show you roughly where.
It's a bit much. Again, I enjoy Starfield a lot. I really like the shipbuilder. I like that you can go out and build your outposts. I love the exploration. I really enjoy a lot of the quest lines and stuff like that, but the main quest definitely has issues in terms of trying to have to go out and repeat all this stuff. I don't know. It's just... it's frustrating. Let's go out here. Because I think that they really created some very interesting stuff. It's just that there's this fluff out there around it as well that's just not as good. And again, I'm hoping that the Shattered Space DLC is going to be a step in the right direction, because it's not 100 new procedurally generated planets. My guess is, I don't know if it's going to be one system. It's definitely going to be at least one new system. It could be more than that. It could be like a couple systems. I would guess no more than 5. I don't know how many it's going to be. I have no clue. But they've actually done, like, I think it's 100 locations specifically on Varun Kai. And so they've actually done detailed work on a single world. And that's exactly the sort of thing that they need to be doing.
How are you still
I know you want what I took, but no way in hell I'm scavenging out there.
Return what you have.
Sure of yourself, huh? Well, I don't...
Okay. Thank you. Let's take this back. Hey, Aaron Young. I'm glad that you enjoyed the... I'm assuming you watched the Surveil videos? I need to do more of those. I talked about this last stream. Welcome to the stream. Hope you've had a good week. Yeah, I probably need to do some more Surveil videos. There are actually locations I have missed cataloging since they've changed, and I do regret that. Because I did basically streamline the process for Surveil videos to where it doesn't... It's not nearly as lengthy a process as it once was for me, so I need to go back and look at those. Oh, good. I'm glad you like that too. Main quest line, yeah, that was definitely...
Maybe some extra patrols.
It was definitely different in the
I
past.
see you have our missing
Oh yeah, an enormous amount has changed since the
I'm sorry.
since the launch. I will say that I said this last time, I think, but I think it'd be really cool if they found some way to give new players to the game, an option to see what the game was like when it first launched. I'm not saying in terms of bugs. But basically, if they could come up with... I would hope they still have the build files for it somewhere in their servers, but if they had still the original... like the update just before Wastelanders, where you could go into it and you could experience the world without NPCs. Like, there were NPCs, obviously, in terms of robots and stuff like that. I think it'd be really cool just to give people the option to see what it was like at that time. Well, like, one of the best examples of how different a game it is, and really how different a world it is Crater itself. And if you watched my video on the Raiders of the Crater, you'll have seen... I took a couple of shots of it before it changed. I should have taken far more. And so, like, this looked so different, obviously. So, yeah, I think that it would be really neat if they would do that.
You need supplies?
Even if they did it as like
Just don't
like the public Fallout world or something like that.
Stick up his ass.
Oh god, the 400 stash rate. I forgot about how awful that was.
Remember the new gang member?
Oh.
Good. I had 100. If you only...
Even now at 1200, I get I get that it's like something where they don't want to have to store all that data on servers or whatever for all your characters, but it's like, oh. It is... it is not good. Okay, let me... Hey, Chris. Teddy Bear Cooking Show. That was in... is it still there? I actually want to take a look real quick. Clancy Manor. We'll do that real quick. Well, I would say if they did it, if they set it up as like an event, and they're like, as a thing to celebrate the, let's just say, 6th anniversary of the game launch. For the month of November, the public Fallout World is going to be the, basically not the launch version, but the just pre-Wastelanders version of the game. I think that'd be pretty neat if they would do that. Good lord. I guess I can come up through here. This is a location I will have to cover at least, like as like a footnote in my video on the Mothman cults. There are a lot of cultist locations.
I join you anytime.
Oh. Yeah. If it breaks your PC, no backsies. Yeah, they took down the Teddy Bear Cooking Show. I didn't even realize they'd done that. I think I did a surveil video of Clancy Manor before it turned into this. And I think that I got a shot of that. But it's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time. Alright, let's see. I still need to hunt down that... there we go. Retirement plan.
The light is eternal.
And basically, just so you know, with my Mothman cult video, I'm also going to talk about, to a minor extent, the other cults of Appalachia. And part of it is there's not enough to cover those cults individually. So it's one of those things where it's good that there is the Mothman cult, which the cults have a lot to them. Like, there's enough to the Mothman cults where they deserve their own video. But like the Interloper, it's basically enough to make a footnote in a video because it's this creepy, eldritch... I mean, eldritch and creepy are basically synonyms, but... Lovecraftian horror that exists in the world but without any real explanation. And so the Mothman cult has their own view of the Interloper, and so it provides a means to talk about the Interloper. Man, there's no way this guy's getting back to Crater. Yeah, I didn't have to deal with that former raider. He, or was it a she here? She, it looks like, was in the middle of a crowd of Scorched at a fissure site with a Scorched beast flying overhead. There's no way they were making it back to Crater. So that was completely unnecessary. You're saying the explanation for the Interloper? I'm not sure. Oop. Jeez Louise. Was that what provided me with all that? Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look to outside of the game sources because in-game stuff is just really not there. One thing we can take a look at while I'm on my way back to Crater is Seneca Rocks. Okay, he just stuck it there because he could, and then it became part of the lore because then the Mothman cults had something to oppose. Because basically their version of it is almost like a version of the devil, to where he is like prime deceiver. Ow. I do have a neck. Sorry, and I'm slouching a bit. Yeah, and I've also got cat tree in the background there that currently does not have a cat on it. But yeah, I've got my maps on the wall behind me. including my map of the original World of Warcraft, map of Skyrim, the map of Skyrim's DLC locations. Same with the Guidestones. Okay. Where there he is. This, to my understanding, is basically the original version of the Scorch Beast. Back when it wasn't a bat, but was a vulture. If I can get any closer to it. Right here, pinned to the side of Seneca Rocks. Probably easier to see from a distance anyway. I've got a dog, yes, currently sleeping at my feet. So yeah, that was, to my understanding, the original Scorch Beast. Before they decided on bats, which I think bats was the better way to go. And also made it line up weirdly with 2020. Let's get back to Crater. Okay. Oh! Mutated event. I need to do that. But, in fact, I don't want to miss that. So, public event. Eviction notice. Oh, I hate it. Eviction notice without a Fallout world is like... it's not even worth trying. The amount of ammunition you expend on this thing in a private adventure, like, maybe in a group, this is a more doable thing. And you're probably not supposed to be trying to do this thing as an individual. But, oh. God.
Please help. My name is Kenneth Dean. We're south of Huntersville. I think
Current spec running this. Do you mean my PC or what?
Probably won't be much longer. The mutants have left. For now, hurry and destroy their meat bags when you get here. That should drive them away if they come back. There's a machine in the crater. Should take care of the radiation in the area. Keep it running. We'll never finish building here if it breaks.
That. If you mean my PC, CPU is one of the latest generation Intel processors, which I'm worried about because it's one of the ones that's within the generation that potentially can corrode. And Intel is just like, oh, well, you know, what happens is it's what happens. You know, if it happens to you, that's too bad, but we're not going to do anything about that. I don't remember, it's like 14700 or 900 or something like that, KF, I believe is what it is. And then the GPU, one second, I need RAD-X, that's what I was looking for. The GPU is a 4080 Super. Luckily, my nothing's happened to my CPU yet, so I'm hoping that it's like a luck of the draw sort of a thing. Oh, I still have to repair it. I thought I had. I must have been knocked away right before that happened. Destroy the meat bags. Oh, yes. It's been a while since I've done this one. I did this a lot right after this launch. I think to talk about it in the Settlers of Foundation lore video. Well, I think I also specifically made a video about this one, this site. Maybe I did. I don't remember. It's been a while. I've made a lot of videos over the past few years. But yeah, the GPU 4080 Super. So. Yeah, I mean, basically, that is my current thought, is not using Intel going forward, given their response to the fact that their CPUs are corroding because they screwed up the drivers for it, I think is my understanding. Basically, they made it so that they run at a higher temperature than they're supposed to, and so it can end up actually damaging it, and they're just like, oh yeah, well, you know, your fault. It's like, it's not like people were overclocking these things. If they were, then yeah, it's on them. But if they're running them according to the proper specs that you have provided and they're corroding, then that's not on them. That's not on the individual. But, yeah, I basically I bought this computer back in June, I think it was. It's the first big purchase I've made using money that I've gotten from YouTube and Patreon. Because I finally actually had some significant success with the Fallout show launching. My Vault 111 video blew up. And that was a big part of what allowed me to purchase this thing, so... And I was basically trying to decide if I was going to get a computer with a 4090 or a 4080. And the 4090 is just so much more expensive. And it's one of those things where it's like, yes, it is absolutely the best card currently on the market. And by a margin, too. But at the same time, is it worth the, I think it was like $700 additional? And it just, I couldn't justify that at the time, so... So basically, and I kind of bought this thing as a way to celebrate the fact that I topped 10,000 subscribers around the same time. And so I made the decision that I would buy next to top of the line for that. And if I ever get to 100,000 subscribers, then I will buy top of the line. So, we got a ways to go. 87,500. That's how many more we got to go. Oh, I hate freezing stuff. Can I not stand up here? Oh, I can. Good. So, I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but you can get... And I don't know, maybe I'm not seeing the cost of this, and I was charged for it. Or maybe I already had it in my account and I just don't remember buying it. But if I'm remembering this correctly, then the Lord of the Rings, at least the Fellowship of the Ring, a recording made in 1990 is free on Audible. And so I've been listening to that for the past week or so. Yeah, I mean, luckily, Intel provides a, what's it called, like a utility to basically check the health of your CPU. No, it's not Indie Circus's recording. This is one from 1990, so I can't remember exactly who recorded it. But again, it's free, and it's like 19 hours long, so... And it's like, I had not actually... it's been... God, 20 years since I read The Lord of the Rings. So it's like, most of the stuff that I remember is now from the Peter Jackson movies rather than from the book. And so it's been interesting. Like, I had completely forgotten about how long the section with Tom Bombadil is. Like, it's nuts. And I remember reading that after having watched the Peter Jackson stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, this part's so boring. Oh yeah, I definitely think listening to it, when they have, because there are so many songs too, I'd forgotten how many songs Tolkien wrote for these things. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's definitely a better listen than it is a read, but I will say I definitely enjoyed reading it back in the day. And listening to it while I'm driving or doing some mindless task at work has been nice. I have just gotten to where they're basically closing in on Rivendell. And I'd forgotten, like, that basically the Peter Jackson movies... Oh, I still need to destroy another meat bag. I need to find that thing. I'd forgotten that Frodo was 50 when he went on his adventure. And not only that, but I'd forgotten that Merry and Pippin were actually not... Oh, God. Rads. I'm about to die, aren't I? Yep. Let's get back in there and repair that thing before... Oh, it's not going to happen, is it? I'm about to lose this. Yeah, it's already lost. Yeah, that's it. That's unfortunate. No, it's not your fault. I mean, I've had that happen multiple times before when I've been just by myself. But I'd forgotten that Merry and Pippin were not incompetent like they are in the book, in the movies. Sorry. Why are they still shooting it? It's already broken. But like, they're not on Weathertop cooking with an open fire in the middle of the night. That's not something that gets them spotted by the ring wraiths. No, they're down in a dell, all of them trying to basically just like stay close to the fire, stay out of sight, and they're still spotted by the ring wraiths. And it's basically the ring wraiths have been like lying in wait for them because they know they're gonna have to come by that path. So, all right, let's head up here. But I do love Tolkien's world building. It's really second to none. And I'm not even talking about the languages. I'm just talking about everything with all the stuff that he talks about with the Shire, with Bree, with all the different Hobbit families that live around there, where they live, the Witch Kingdom of Angmar, the Greenway. Okay, let's see. Wait, I did deal with the former raider. They were dead. Is it sending me... Okay, maybe they'd moved since I was... I don't know. I don't know what happened. I could have sworn that... first of all, it definitely told me to fast travel... Like, that the location they were at was the fissure. I went there. There was a single raider. They were swarmed... they were swarmed by the Scorched, and they were dead. I don't know. Okay, good. But yeah, I had also completely forgotten that it wasn't the case that they just bumped into Merry and Pippin and basically they were forced to go along with them. No, Merry and Pippin were on board with going on the quest from very early on because Sam had actually told them about it early on.
Crater, right? I said...
Man, this guy does not look healthy. Just want to talk.
About what?
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, no, absolutely. But again, it's also a completely different thing too because Frodo is 50 years old. Like, it's not, they're not kids. They're grown adults. And obviously hobbits have different aging, like again, this is all stuff I'd forgotten because again, I was literally in high school the last time I was reading this. Where they don't come of age until they're 33. So it's not like they're like a 50-year-old human, but at the same time, they're still 50 years old, so...
Can I cross this name off my list or what?
Sure.
That's fine. So you're Dewsum. Now scram.
Alright, let's go see what I can do with if I've got any treasury notes. I think I should have some. I was also realizing the other day, and I don't know how I didn't think of this to take advantage of this before, but I could, in this Fallout world, effectively just print cash. Because if I can craft guns without any sort of resources required, then I can craft guns, like at a station next to a vendor bot, and go sell him those guns, and then be immediately paid for those guns I manufactured out of thin air. I don't know why this didn't occur to me before. I think it's... Anyway. Did I just level twice from that? Or is it just going to keep playing the same animation?
Don't understand why we can't get a few more
I don't know.
sunny,
Okay.
boring jobs.
Da-da-da-da.
Is it yins or yous or y'all? Can't keep up.
Yeah. Well, I've always questioned that kind of thing about lifespans. Hey, Penguin Tots. Glad you like the videos. Welcome to the stream. I always question the idea of lifespans being significantly lower, just when you consider that
Being rebuilt, right here.
a lot of that was based on the fact that infant mortality was so high. And so it's one of those things where it brings down the average significantly. But it's one of those things where if you made it past like 10 years old, you had a pretty good chance of living until you're about 70-something, which is pretty much where we are now. But again, when you had so many people dying before the age of 5, it brings down the average significantly.
Just don't get it.
Let's see. Again, the whole thing I'm doing this for is that one character. Let me see if I can remember his name off the top of my head. Stephen Scarberry. 4,000. So I'm probably going to need to do this on my private adventure account because I've got 2,500. I don't think that they do, because he specifically in his in the books, like the hobbits leave the Shire in September. Like there are actual still the months of the year, and it's effectively supposed to be like an origination myth for England. To where it's like even the hobbits coming over to the Shire is effectively England. The hobbits coming over are effectively supposed to be the Angles, the Jutes, and the Saxons coming in and settling. So, yeah, I think it's supposed to, again, I think it's supposed to be that they're living to actually 50 years old, but let's see. Okay. What are the current challenges that I have at the moment anyway? Done all those. I nearly had the second out of 3 mutated public events. Let's go see if I can print some money. No, they don't mention a clock, but I do think that the days are supposed to be the same length. I could be wrong. That one is entirely just me guessing there. Again, I know that the months are the same, and again, I think it's supposed to be effectively like an origination myth for the British Isles. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know if the days are the same length and all that kind of stuff. That was me trying to get the picture for the thumbnail there. Let's see if I can print some cash. This will be my first time attempting this. Alright. Oh, I'm still wearing that. Okay. Let's try... I'm wondering how much this costs. Cannot be traded. Okay. Let's find the highest value thing here. Okay. Let's do it. 10 of those. Let's see. And again, I crafted those literally out of nothing.
If you have supplies to trade,
yeah.
I can be of service.
I don't need this stuff anyway, so I may as well sell it. So I just printed some cash in my Fallout world. Let's do that until I get that challenge done. That guy's not got a huge amount of cash, but he's definitely got at least enough that I can finish this off. I really don't know why I didn't think of doing this before. And it's one of those things where it's like, this will allow me to actually properly showcase items that you can only buy with caps a lot more easily. There we go. Yeah, rank 11 achieved. Let's go put some of those caps to use. This is so dumb. That would be interesting. I will say that, how long ago was it? Like a week ago now? I bought Return to Moria, which is a survival game where you're a dwarf trying to reclaim Moria. I've only played it a few hours, but it's interesting. It definitely has its issues, trying to run back and forth, but where you're trying to like carry supplies from a camp to another camp. But generally speaking, I think they did a pretty good job with it. And I have not experienced nearly enough to actually give a proper review on it, so... right, this direction. Wait, no. There we are. Now, this is what I'm really looking forward to at some point in the future, them reopening this chunk of the White Spring. That's where the bioweapons lab is. That's where the Scorched Plague really has its origins. Yeah. I mean, honestly, there are a lot of games that are kind of like that these days. For example, a while back I saw Gunsmith Simulator. I've played that for like 2 hours and I was like, I've had enough. It's like it's interesting. They've got real guns with like real parts and actual processes for manufacturing these guns, like for repairing them and restoring them and stuff, that kind of stuff. But it's like, this is just me doing a job right now. Okay. I should see if I've got any perks. Ah, yes, oh no. Yes, please open all 18 perk packs. But yeah, there's like there's one that's like Tavern Operator, and I've seen one of those that's in 2D, and I saw there's another one that's in 3D. And it's basically, I've played the 2D one for, again, like a couple hours until I was, again, like, this is a job now that I'm doing here. Where you're just running back and forth, trying to refill people's mugs and everything like that. Okay, so I already actually have that. There. Okay.
Mutation serum research was a controversial topic among the facility's scientists.
Let's see.
Some wish to preserve humanity.
Let's get marsupial. I've already got that, but
Others evolve it.
I'll pick up some other ones when I print some more cash. But now I can print my own marsupial, or sorry, not print, produce my own marsupial serum. Yeah, no, I did play it. I did play the Tavern Keeper thing, and again, they got my cash, so... And there are ones of those that absolutely have captivated me for a long time, and like I've actually gotten useful information from them. Like Car Mechanic Simulator, absolutely 100% has helped me in real life. Like I was able to do some, I'd say moderate level repairs to my car, and a chunk of that definitely came from knowledge gleaned from Car Mechanic Simulator. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That'd be fun. Let's see. Do I have any plans? Did I get anything new in terms of plans out of anything? Recipe. Oh yeah, I got that. I want to see what that actually takes to make that. Oh wait, I'm not going to be able to see it because I don't actually have to provide anything for that. Do I? No, I don't. Wait. Hold up. Why make 132 cap guns when I can mass produce? And it's, I think, if I remember correctly, these vendor bots all share caps, but try playing Pac-Man without the ending. But yeah, Car Mechanic Simulator I've definitely found helpful. And I definitely also like the ones that are basically job simulators for jobs that don't yet exist, like Hard Space Shipbreaker. That one's a lot of fun. And it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that they've got great music with that and everything. Look at that. You can buy 3 of those. I want to sell them a 4th to get the last 140 caps. So yes, I have now properly determined. Let me check and see if they actually do have different cap stores on each one of them. If they do, then this is going to be my new way of printing money when I log in to do my dailies to get my gold. Let's see. Oh, wait.
Previously owned loot for
Ah.
sale.
Well,
Mostly
maybe it's just the
blood
Raiders have
free.
one set of cash, and the Settler ones, or sorry, the Respawner ones have a different one. Let's see. The other day I saw that they've got Space Trucker Simulator, which basically, like, because I've heard people refer to Elite Dangerous as basically like a Space Trucker Simulator, and I think that's basically a set of jobs you can do there or something like that.
Now, while
Yeah, they do share it.
are available.
All right. Well, it was worth a shot, but anyway. But like this Space Trucker Simulator is literally just like you driving a semi-truck in space. So, and I will say I have played Euro Truck Simulator, but it's definitely not my thing. Not in the same way that the other job simulators have been. All right, well, I think that I'm going to close things out here. But again, up next, the Fallout 76 Mothman Cult video. After that, probably a video covering New Atlantis. And if you missed this earlier, I'm going to change the way I do my polling for the next lore video. Because right now, basically the way it is I put it up to where it's 5 options, one from each of the Fallout games. Well, one from each of the 3D Fallout games, and Starfield. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing it on a cycle where it's 3 New Vegas, 4 76, and Starfield. And so it'll be like, I'm going to make a video on Fallout 3. Do you want it to be covering the Metro system, Canterbury Commons, I don't know, Vault 101, you know, and like give you a list of videos that I could make from Fallout 3, rather than giving you a list of... So, because I don't want it to be the case where I'm just constantly alternating between 76 and Starfield or something like that. So that's going to probably be how I do this stuff going forward. So, again, I'm still going to do the New Atlantis video for Starfield because I did a bunch of prep work for that already, so I want to go through with that. So it's going to be Fallout 76 covering the Mothman Cults. Then it's going to be Starfield covering New Atlantis. I'm hoping that both of those videos will be done this month. And the next one, I'm going to be doing probably the Fallout 3 Metro, but from then on, I'm going to start doing it to where you'll have 4 options, all from individual games. And so, we'll see. It's been great seeing y'all. Good to see you, all of you. And yes, good accounting for the names there. Acorn, thank you for that. And I hope you all have a great weekend. And I will see you... It's been great hanging out with y'all, Sean. I will see you all next week, next Friday. And hopefully I will be significantly far along in the Starfield New Atlantis... in the Fallout 76 Mothman Cults video by that point. Again, I'm hoping to get the character I need to from the gold this week. We'll see. And be able to move forward with that. So, been great to see y'all. Hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you all next time.